Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. In a boring fight, frankly, Mario Barrios beats Fabian Maidana, the younger brother of Marcus Maidana, and it was a tedious fight, to be honest with you, because one guy wouldn't and the other guy couldn't. I had this 117-110. There was a knockdown in the third round by Barrios, where the ultra defensive, back-footed, I don't know what you'd call him, Maidana, he was near the ropes and he sort of got caught between two thoughts almost, and he went to slide to his right along the ropes and he got just whacked with an overhand right, and over he went. I think that's the first time he's been on the floor, the commentator said, and he landed on his side. He wasn't badly hurt, he got up, but you would expect Barrios to turn the screw, but in fact he didn't. And in actual fact, this was such a frustrating fight to watch because Barrios, at the end of the fight, his right eye was shut. It was like swollen. And I'm like, what the hell did happen there? Because, I mean, admittedly, one particular punch might cause can cause your eye to swell, to close, or it can, bust your eye socket or do something to your eye. It only takes one punch to do it. And I can only assume that must have been the case because although Maidana, it's not like he wasn't throwing punches, he didn't fire enough of them. But Maidana was constantly moving, constantly on the back foot. He'd throw maybe a little burst here and then the odd punch here and the odd try and counter. But look, you're in against this guy. There's the WBC interim title was on the line. I don't really care about that. The point is that you're the chief support for a Canelo fight. This is your chance to make a name for yourself. You've come in with 22 wins, 2 defeats. You've spent most of your time in Argentina. Suddenly you're on the big stage. Aren't you going to try and take that opportunity, pick up the belt as well, but also at least go out on your shield? And Maidana, it just seems to be one of those people who is very naturally like conservative-minded, very sort of reserved. And like I say, it was weird because at times he would throw punches and he would have an effect. He again, the eye was badly swollen. Barrios' eye was badly swollen. But I'm not going to lay the whole blame for this fight being dull at Maidana's feet because Barrios, having floored Maidana, you would expect him to go through the gears. You would expect him to, if the other guy won't, then you've got to force him into it. You've got to force the fight. And he was trying to do that, I guess, but there didn't seem to be any gears to go through. He's kind of like, he's all a bit one-paced. And when you consider that Barrios lost back-to-back fights. He lost to Tank Davis. He was stopped in 11 rounds. That was in 2021. And then in 2022, he lost to Keith Thurman over 12 rounds, unanimous decision. And so you're thinking, well, this guy's a gatekeeper. And then he came back with a couple of good wins. He came back with 6-round stoppage of Giovanni Santiago, and ain't too bad a fighter. Then he beat Yordenis Ugas. Both those victories were in 2023 last year. So he had something to build on. And by beating Ugas, he won this interim belt thing. And you think, okay, again, you think, well, you're on the undercard of a Canelo fight, Okay, you've got to show something. You've got to go through those gears and just let your hands go. And if the guy don't want to play, you've got to force him to play. You've got to just put so much pressure on him that put him out of his comfort zone. This is the impression I got, was that Maidana at no point, apart from the knockdown, was he out of his comfort zone. His comfort zone being, I'm going to be very conservative, very back-footed. I'm going to throw punches occasionally here, there, maybe, but I'm not going to do anything too cavalier. And I'll go the distance, and it'll be a moral victory. And Barrios should have been saying, no, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. I've got something for you. And letting his hands go more than he did, because there were lulls from both fighters where they weren't throwing any punches, 10, 20-second periods, and nothing was really happening. And then there'd be a little burst, and then they'd both go back to sleep, go back to the normal service was resumed. Maidana would be a hell of a sparring partner, perhaps for the top guys. Perhaps he is. But no, I was disappointed in both fighters for different reasons, and certainly the fight was very, very disappointing. So I don't know. Barrios, what is he, 28? I think Maidana's 31. I don't want to see him again. I don't think I'd ever seen him before anyway. I might have seen a couple of undercard fights, but I can't remember. And I mean, you know, his 3 defeats now are all on points. But unimpressed with Fabian Maidana. Barrios, not overly impressed with him with this fight, but he's kind of hot and cold, isn't he, Barrios? Kind of strange, really. Anyway, did you see this fight? What did you think? Did you manage to stay awake during it? I was struggling a little bit, but the thought of Canelo and Munguia kept me going. Comments below if you've got any. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the like button as well. If you could do that, don't cost you anything. It takes a second and it's always, always, always appreciated. Thank you very much and bye for now.